every once in a while, some gold comes up in our Mavens On Demand community that, while it's specifically tailored to an individual asking for one-on-one coaching, it applies to a lot of wineries, and with permission from my Mavens On Demand amazing community members, I get to share them with you. Today, there is a bonus training in our Press Send group coaching call about how to get wine club anniversary data into your email service provider. There's a few hoops to jump through for this data to be actionable, and this coaching conversation is actually more like a step-by-step showcase of how to do it right and then be able to use it in the future. So sit back and enjoy our Mavens On Demand group coaching on wine club anniversary data. But first things first, what you're all here for, Denise, at a minimum, is the training on the club date. So the first thing you're going to do, and because my Sandbox account on C7 is now defunct, I can't actually show this to you, but the first thing you're going to do is log into Commerce 7 and navigate to the club tab, select your active memberships, and then there's a function that allows you to export club memberships. This takes anyone who's active and exports a big dump of data to your computer or desktop, whatever. It could be a CSV file, I believe is how it's exported. Good morning, Denise. Okay, so that's step one, is that you have to actually get the data out of Commerce 7, and the report that they do this, the report that's like export club memberships, it does this for you. It has so many headers. In fact, I do have for you, hopefully I pull up the right one. I did do sample data. So let me see if I can find that. Okay. So this is, I pulled this and then whitewashed it to look like me, because it is me. But this is what the report looks like. The first column is ID, then status, order delivery method, sign up date, cancellation reason. There's a bunch of headers that come with this document. The thing that you need is this right here, the sign up date. And it may, depending on your machine, it may be formatted XXXXXXX, like you need to actually go to this column and format the data as a date. So like month, day, year. Hopefully that makes sense. The MM/DD/YYYY. I'll actually show you what that looks like with this guy right here, just so that you can see it. So you'd actually go to data. Oops, nope. Go to this and then format cells. Sorry, me and Excel, not always the best of friends. And then you just go like day, YYYY. And then you'll notice the last process date is actually a date. Current number of shipments, damn. Customer's first name, last name, email address, all that stuff. So the data that you absolutely have to have is column E. You need the sign up date because that is theoretically the club anniversary for this contact, right? And then the customer email address. If you don't have those two things, you're in a little bit of a pickle. If you do have those two things, you can easily import this information to the club, the members' info on your email service provider. The other things that you could use if you want are club and club type, like columns S and T from this export. But because most of you who are watching this are leveraging the Digimatic integration, that data is already stored in a way that makes sense for the integration, and you're utilizing it in another sort of container. So I wouldn't re-import that information. There isn't much purpose to it. So the two columns that absolutely need to be mapped are the sign up date and the customer's email address. Just about anything else in this document you can overlook if you want to. If you are not using Digimatic and you're watching this training later and you're like, but I really am curious about, how would I go about I'm doing this if I don't have integrated data. Well, then you would probably want to import the club name, shipping status, some of those things, so you can create different iterations of your club anniversary offer based on those data points that are not integrated. But for the purposes of a quicker, kind of quick and dirty training on this, this is what you need. So to recap, we've gone into Commerce 7, we've gone to the club tab, and we've exported active club memberships. The file looks something like what you're seeing on this screen, and you want to save it as a CSV file. Okay, so once you have it saved as a CSV file, which you may or may not have done, you can then go into, in this case, for Denise, I know you want to see it in MailChimp, but I'm going to show you both in MailChimp and Klaviyo, just so that everyone that is using Digimatic that doesn't have a club anniversary going right now can see the process. So the next thing you need to do is actually get that data from your CSV file into your email service provider. For your reference, your email service provider may or may not already have a list set up where you can import this and a container for that data to live in, right? So we need a place for the date to go in our email service provider. So you are looking at Erica's cute little old paused MailChimp. And I am looking at my Digimatic audience. So if you're using MailChimp and you have multiple audiences set up, make sure you use the one that you use for your marketing emails when you import this data. If you, because that's, I mean, most MailChimp instances, you could set up multiple audiences, but then you've got duplicates across and everybody in your audience counts multiple times. It's a little bit kludgy, but anyway, use your main audience is what I'm getting at. And so you'll go to manage audience and, add contacts, and I'm going to import contacts. And then it's going to ask, how would you like to add? And I am going to copy paste, continue, and then I'm going to paste in the data that I copied from my documents. And this is, so making sure you put it in the right audience. So here are some things to note. You do want to update any existing contacts. Otherwise, it will overlook the people in this file that are already in your email service provider, and it won't merge in the date-based data that we need to trigger our anniversary email from. Hopefully that makes sense. So you do want to update any existing contacts, click continue. Tags, you could, like, I actually, like, from an organizational perspective, I like to tag anything, like, just if I needed to undo it or something, it'd make it easy for me to identify these contacts. You can choose to do that or not. Since this is a dummy account, I'm not super worried about it. And then this is the part that gets a little tricky. This is where you're mapping the fields. So remember what I said, you only need sign up date and email address, but there isn't a container for a sign up date to go into right now. See, all I have are like MailChimp's date-based, date formatted things, and then some demographic information. So if you don't already, this is where you're going to create a new field. You want to make sure it is a date, and you're going to call it Wine Club Anniversary. Confirm. And so now there's a new custom field, and it has my sign up date for this club in it. And then the other thing I have to make sure, I'm not going to pull that in, that I bring in, I don't need these, is email address. Okay, so I am intentionally not adding anything else because in theory, Digimatic has that information already stored, and I don't want to create weirdness. Hopefully that makes sense. So what I'm doing here is I'm using existing contacts theoretically, but I'm pulling in an additional data point, which is the club anniversary. I'm going to make sure they're subscribed. Okay, I'm seeing questions. Makes perfect. Okay, good. I'm glad it makes sense. And then so they're subscribed, and I'm going to finalize my import. So one contact will be added. They're subscribed. We're updating existing contacts and we're not tagging them. Complete the import. So that's step one. You got to get the data out of Digimat or out of Commerce 7 and into your email service provider. Okay. One existing contact was updated. So now I can look at me I want to see what's going on with yours truly. Oh, it didn't find me. That's hilarious. Oh, here I am. Okay, so there I am. And now you'll notice Wine Club Anniversary is now a custom field in MailChimp, and it has my sign up date in that spot. So then all you have to do in MailChimp is go to your automations and create a date triggered journey based on that new field of Wine Club Anniversary. So the same thing goes for my Klaviyo users, but for Klaviyo, the caveat is if you haven't been using lists, right? Like I actually coach most of my users of Digimatic on Klaviyo to use dynamic segments instead of lists in Klaviyo, and then use the definitions that you have available to you using the dynamic segments to find different subsets like your club members, et cetera. I don't recommend a ton of lists in Klaviyo, but you do need a list in Klaviyo to be able to import your club anniversary data. So like you go to create new, create a list. This is going to be your club anniversary container. And literally I'm just creating this list so I have a place to import my club members into to merge in that data. Klaviyo is wonderful in that multiple lists do not duplicate your contacts. So if you have 10 lists or 10,000 lists and I'm on all 10,000, I don't count against your total contact profile types 10,000 times. Anyways, so now that I've created a container, right? Club anniversary container, I just got to upload contacts. So there's two other things I would recommend you do. Go to settings, consent, and make it a single opt-in, because these are people that are already on your list. You're just adding data to them. So you don't want them getting double opt-in emails from this. So that's step one. Then you can go to your members, upload contacts, and then we're going to go through the same process. So I'm going to copy and paste a CSV and map my data. I don't need ID. I am going to use sign up date, and I'm going to create, see, so that I don't have a date-based field in here, right? So I'm going to create a new field, and it's going to be a date, right? Use this format, MMDDYYYY. That's important. And I'm going to call it, I might say club sign up date just to make it obvious. So that's not like sign up date for my email list, right? And you could also name it Wine Club Anniversary, right? Apparently typing is hard. Create, you want to make sure that date is selected, okay? And this drop down, that's how you're able to do the right triggers with this information. I don't need first name. I don't need last name. I do need email. Then I click next. You can update subscription status to subscribed or leave it without importing an additional subscription status. This is up to you and how you manage your permissions. Just note, you'll still be able to send to them one way or the other because you're not updating them as unsubscribed. So I'm just going to do that. And here we go. So then that's going to import the same way. And then I'm going to go to flows and create a date triggered flow on the anniversary of the member and club sign up anniversary data point that we just added. All right, so there you have it, a step-by-step on how to get the data out of your system, how to get that data back in to an email service provider. And even if you aren't using that specific tech stack, hopefully you found some hacks in there that'll make it so that you can honor club anniversary in a meaningful way. If you love today's content and want more of that magic, you've got to join our Mavens On Demand monthly coaching program. Every month, we do a deep dive masterclass on an email marketing topic that matters to you and your winery business. Every week, there is group coaching that you can tune into for one-on-one support on an issue or just for you to see what other wineries might struggle with and learn from their coaching. You also get access to our Mavens On Demand community portal where you can search previous YouTube content, go on your own kind of choose your own adventure for resources, and really learn at your pace about the things that matter most to your winery's direct-to-consumer business. And of course, I'm not even bringing up, until now, the opportunity for email marketing makeovers. You can submit an email to the Email Mavens community to be reworked. And my team will glow up your email campaign and deliver the results to you so you can actually send the up-leveled version while also getting some coaching on what worked about your previous design and how to make it better. All of this is available to you for just $197 per month or $19.97 if you pay for 12 months of access. It would be my privilege to welcome you to the Mavens On Demand monthly coaching program. But no matter what, Mama's got your back. Tune in here every week. Make sure you've liked this channel and subscribe. Do all the things you're supposed to do so that you never miss a free hot take. Until next week, keep pressing send on your next best email.